Good job, ladies. That was wonderful. All right, so we're gonna do a little Q&A with the ladies up here. So I know we have some students out in the audience tonight, and we're gonna have you guys ask some questions. So would anyone like to kick it off right away? Of our student journalists? Yeah, you wanna? Okay, cool. We're gonna have someone come around with a mic for you guys. Yeah, go ahead, stand up.
Okay, I'm Maddie. I go to Central High School in St. Paul, and this is my little crew here. We were wondering, how has learning like the research behind all these roles affected how you portray these women?
Well, I have to say that it has really helped me to just make sure we bring justice to these women, because everything that they have, everything that they've been through, I often say, like, you know, I imagine them looking down on us from a better place and being like, yes, finally, somebody is saying what I always wanted to say. And even with the new jargon of today, like, sorry, not sorry, they couldn't say that back then, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's really cool to, like, have learned and studied what they've done and how they've affected history so much, and it makes us very proud, yeah.
Anyone else want to chime in on that one? We're good? Yeah, she nailed it. She nailed it. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of that. You guys are technically like a pop group, so you obviously have your inspiration from your characters, but was there a pop star that inspired you a little bit? And who would it be? Yeah, go ahead.
So definitely Queen Bee, Beyonce.
My character she's got Avril Lavigne, she's got a little bit of Nicki Minaj, she's a lot of Billie Eilish almost, so yeah.
My queen inspiration is Adele and Sia.
My queen inspiration is a little bit of Nicki Minaj, a little bit of Rihanna, a little bit of Janet Jackson, Tina Turner.
I think mine is a nice mix of Ariana Grande and maybe some Demi Lovato. Wailing up there, you know? Yeah, and then my queen is based off of look and style-wise, Alicia Keys, and then vocally a little bit of Liana Havas as well. I don't know who she is.
Love it. All right. Anyone else got a question down here? We got? Cool. Do you want to stand up?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth and I attend Bethel University. So, are there any expectations that you guys have performing here? Like, looking for any expectations? Do you guys have any expectations performing here? Like, what is like performing in other places versus here or other like that? Yeah.
I think audiences, well, so far in our journey, they've been the best. So we've had crazy houses in Chicago, insane houses in Boston as well. So our audiences always bring the fire. So when we are here in Minnesota, we expect you all to bring the heat.
I think you guys are doing a good job so far. Good job. Awesome. You want to go ahead?
Hi, thank you for performing. It was phenomenal. My name is Mindy from Metropolitan State University, and my question is, what has been challenging about bringing this script to life on stage?
I don't know if, it's good, okay. I don't know if it, not challenging in a bad way, but challenging in a, we all want to challenge ourselves and grow kind of a way, was being true to who we are as women, because we were casted for a very specific reason, and because we are exactly who we are, and so you see we're all different colors and shapes and sizes, and so we wanted to make sure, and the writers and creators, Lucy and Toby, they also wanted to make sure that we continue to be who we are while we tap into these characters. So remembering that we are portraying characters and that these women also existed in history. So it's really, the challenge was the balance between all of that. So when you see us up here laughing and having a good time, that's like real. We do like each other. No, we do like each other. And we do love what we're doing. We do love telling these stories, and there is it is an honor to tell these stories and to do them justice. So really the challenge is the balance between ourselves and the characters and the history.
Yeah, we'll come right down over there.
Hi, I'm Maren from St. Paul Academy, and I was wondering what it's like working with such a diverse all-female cast versus other casts you've worked with in the past.
Good question.
You guys can probably tell this rarely happens, where we have an all-female cast, an all-female band. So this is a really powerful moment, and it's really exhilarating and fun and freeing, and this group of women is just phenomenal off stage and on, all of them, and so it's a privilege to be with these ladies, and we hope that that translates out to you in the audience as well, that love, yeah.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause for that one, guys. All female cast. All right. I think, we had a question right next.
Is this on? All right, it is. Hi, I'm Valerie Witt. I'm also from St. Paul Academy. And I was wondering what your favorite nuance in the script or the score or the choreography, just anything, what's your favorite little part of, like little detail, I guess? Yeah.
I think my favorite part is probably in Get Down, when the lovely Brittany Mack invites an audience member to participate. I won't tell you how, but she does. And that's my favorite part, is watching the audience, like, trying to figure out what to do. What should I dance? Should I stand here? And I think that's super fun, because it always influences what we do. So that's probably my favorite moment.
I have a lot of favorite moments, but I think one thing that's my favorite that people will tell me after a show that they didn't know was going to be a part of it is the ending of my song is not what you hear on the cast recording. Lucy, our director, and I had a long conversation about the journey of my character and how she was sexually abused for her entire life, and what that means for her, and what her arc is through the entire song. So, at the end, it's usually silent. It's okay not to clap, because not every story is a happy one, and I feel like that's one of my favorite moments to always see every night, how the audience reacts and what their response is.
Mine is the audience participation. We like to say, or reaction, we like to say that the audience is the seventh queen of the show. And so it's what a lot of audience members don't know is that the house is lit, and not lit like LIT lit, but lit like we can see you. We can see all of you. And so when you're sitting there like, we see you, and when you're like, we see that too. And so it's always funny when we get off stage and we're like, did you see that one girl when she was just like over it? That's fun. Another one of my favorites is Abby Mueller is probably the funniest person I know. She likes to pretend like she isn't, but she is. And lyrically, she has a part in the top of the song where she says, Jane Seymour, the only one I truly love. Look around and you'll suddenly see more. It's a play on Little Shop of Horrors. So that, when I first read it, is one thing, but when she first sang it, my brain just exploded, and I love it. I love it every time. So yeah.
I think we're still going down the line here.
Down the line. I love Suddenly Seymour. I love Okay Ladies, Let's Get in Their Formation. And I love the Green Sleeves theme that's weaved into the whole thing, which is a song Anne Boleyn wrote for Henry. That do 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 do, also known as What Child Is This? That whole thing. It's I love that.
I think I love what you guys see in the Mega Sixes is a lot of like interactions between these queens. You get that throughout the show. So if you're paying really close attention, you see us trying to make each other laugh. You see us being like, oh, she did that today. Okay. So you see those little moments of just pure love and support for one another. Even though we have lines and we're doing choreo and we're singing our bums off, there are little moments where you catch glances between, let's say, me and Catherine Parr, or me and Cleves. There's so much little side eyes that you catch, and they're gold when you see them.
Well, just referring to music and what I thought was really cool what the writers did, House of Holbein is brilliant. Yeah. That song, oh my gosh, and I actually worked overseas in Germany doing musicals when I first got out of college, and to be able to learn the song for the first time and hear, "Wir turn this fear into a 9," I was like, that is brilliant, because it's like, you know, we're talking in German, we're interacting, and then also the educational aspect of like learning about Holbein in that way, and that to me is probably one of the highlights of their writing in the show.
All right, that was a great question. All right, wanna go next?
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm a senior at Eden Prairie High School. I was wondering just why is 6 relevant in today's world, in today's society?
This is a question that we've gotten over the last couple of days, and I think one of my favorite things about the show is that a lot of times people think they know what each queen was known for or why they were famous, and this show allows us to tell the true story from their side. But I think my favorite message to take away from the show is to believe women. Believe what they tell you, believe what they've been through, because that was happening back then and it's happening now. And I think all of us have experienced at the stage door after a show, at least 1 or 2 people approaching us afterwards and telling us how much everyone's story means to them and how we've touched them and something that they're going through that spoke to them in the moment, and it's helped them become more powerful or feel more empowered. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. I think that's the general message, I guess, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. Your guys' costume director is amazing because these are the most beautiful costumes. I love them. I guess that wasn't a question, I just had to put that out there. All right, who's up next?
Hi, my name is Malia and I'm from Spring Lake Park High School. And my question is, how has this show changed you?
I think it's changed all of our lives. We thought we were signing up for a 6-week run in Chicago, and now we are doing all these things and going to Broadway. So for us, it's like we're all a part of now an original Broadway cast. A few of us are making our debuts. So life has been crazy these last few months, and I think the best gift that I think we all got was that we got to do it all together from ground up, and we've learned to love each other when we're vulnerable, love each other when we're motivated, and just keep moving forward as a group and supporting and loving one another. And yeah, this journey has been insane. But I said these to the girls the other day, was I wouldn't do any of this with any other group of women. We've had the craziest week. We've had a Broadway launch, we've had press, we've been going and going and going, and we've been like, oh, I'm so tired, but it's all worth it because we do it together and we do it for you guys, and the love that you give us keeps us going. So we're just full of gratitude.
All right, I feel like this kind of goes off of the question from earlier, but you had like your favorite moments in the show. Is there like just something about being on stage in general that's your favorite? Like, is it the feeling, the emotion? Like, what is it that brings you the life that your characters have?
I know for me, I'm very like aware that Anne of Cleves is a character, and I'm very aware that all of these women are characters in this show and women who existed in history, but I get to watch the show, right? So I get to kind of sit back and support these women, but I get to remember the work that all of these women, including our alternates, Mallory, Courtney, and Nicole, have put in. Oh, Mallory's back there, Courtney's right there, and Nicole is in Chicago healing, doing her thing, and she's beautiful. Is being able to kind of watch, like, and know who these women are as people versus like who are they're playing in the moment, and watching them put it together. And I'm like, y'all are talented, you better sing, come on and dance. Like, because I get to kind of sit back and watch the show after a while. And so one of my, and the Ladies in Waiting, our all-female band, and watching it just all develop and become this well-oiled machine. It's remembering what it was in Chicago when we started, like, I don't know what's going on, to now where we're like, okay, let's do this. Let's like make a difference. Let's impact and make a change for good and like that. So
awesome. That's awesome. All right. Do we have any more questions?
Hello, I'm Catherine. I am a sophomore at Eden Prairie. My question is, how do you make your characters different from the previous versions of the characters?
I think the good news is that with any show you're doing, where there might be, we're the original American cast, but there's this beautiful London cast, now there's an Australian cast, there's 2 cruise ship casts, the show is just going global. And I think the great thing about the show is that the responsibility is to bring the truth of who you are to these queens. And the creative team has always told us, we want to see you and like, your version of these queens. So, and one of the major points of the show is about sisterhood and about lifting each other up, so it's really not about comparison. We're all amazing, we're all different, as you can see, and we celebrate that, which just really leaves us free to go be ourselves and to tell these women's stories truthfully. So it's a big honor.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Anyone over here have a question?
Hi, I'm Amy from Central High School. How has the show evolved as you've taken it on? How have you changed things?
I would have to say just getting more comfortable in your own skin. This show has definitely helped me to evolve into womanhood at the age that I'm at, which I'm not telling anyone. No, just to evolve into who Adriana Hicks is, as well as doing justice to filling the shoes of Catherine of Aragon as much as I can from what I know about her. And I have to say that it is a beautiful process to see all of the women evolve into who they really are and finding new things here and there. And it's been a journey though. It wasn't easy. It's like physically taxing. It is literally a sacrifice of what we do every day, but it's all worth it in the end. And I couldn't be more proud of like being a part of something as special as this.
And what's so beautiful about that too is we went on our own individual journeys, obviously, but part of our rehearsal process, usually in a musical, is you get the script and everyone kind of just goes home to their own places and does their own work. But the way the director wanted to do it was, no, we were going to workshop it in the room. So when I see what Sam has to bring every night, what Brittany has to bring every night, I know the journey that she went on to get there, and I remember day 1 of rehearsal when things were awkward and it was weird and the director was saying vulnerable, uncomfortable things, but no, because we've been there together. So what's cool about the journeys is that we've also seen each other's, and so what they bring today, I'm only looking at that thinking of everything that came before that, so it makes it so much more beautiful.
All right, so I want to know what your feeling was when you found out that this was going to be more than just your show in Chicago. Like, what was your initial feeling when you're like, oh my gosh, we're really doing this. This is going big. Yeah.
When we found out we were going to Broadway?
Yeah, when they found out they were going to Broadway, you guys.
So what they just did, that's how we felt. And then we text each other like, oh my God, what are you going on to? I put There were no words. There was like, we're still in shock, I think. Even because we're still on the journey. So, and there's still so far to go. So yes, we're going to Broadway and we're very excited, but for right now, we're right here.
Yes.
And this is what our focus is.
Have you guys ever been to the Twin Cities before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. All right. It's your first time? Hello. Well, welcome. You're getting it at a good time, but when you have your show later, you're probably going to get hit with all the snow. So be aware. It's not as great in the winter. I'm just kidding. It's a wonderful city. All right. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Mindy again. So what is one key advice you would give to young women? And just asking all of you.
Yeah, I guess we can go down the line for this one, huh? Enjoy the process and love yourself through it. That is definitely a big thing. You have to love yourself and enjoy the process. Just go through it.
I think for me, I've always just said, try to be a light in anybody else's life. You don't know what other people, other women, men, you don't know what they go through. So to be, to shine a light and be that light for someone and embrace each other, love each other, support one another, that's how you do life. How else?
My advice, it sounds cheesy, but it's because it's true. It's be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. So that's Oscar Wilde. I didn't write that quote.
Yes, it's hard. Yes, it sucks. Yes, in the moment you want to cry and just throw things, but it will get better. It does get better. And it can always be way worse. So when you wake up and you have breath, it's another day and another chance to get it right. And the right is your right. It's your right. No one else's expectations. It's just yours and what you want to be and who you want to be, and that you have all the time in the world to figure that out. No pressure on living life, just do it.
I would say, don't ever apologize for who you are, and don't ever try and make yourself smaller to accommodate how other people are feeling. Don't ever make yourself smaller. Reach as far as you can. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, fill the space, do what you need to do, because if people don't like it, they can get out of the way.
Do we have any aspiring actors or performers here? Yeah. Well, to you guys, you should know that there is a place for you on the stage. Because I remember what it was like to be there and look at the stage and be like, I don't see myself. Where am I? Don't see it. No. But every tiny, detailed, complex, beautiful piece of who you are is welcome here. And if there's not a role for you yet, you're gonna create it, don't worry. But you are welcome here.
All right, let's give it up for these inspirational ladies. All right, we have time for like 2 more questions. Did anyone want to go?
Hi, I'm Abby from Central, and I was just wondering, like, what drew you to musicals?
What drew me to musicals? Okay, so I used to be that kid that would be playing Beyonce or some other concert in her room, or Aladdin or something from Disney, dancing around, singing like nobody, because no one was watching, and just enjoying myself. And that literally was the key for me. I didn't know that you could do this as a profession, actually. I was very, very new to musical theater, and when in high school, I saw my very first musical, and I thought to myself, oh my God, this incorporates every single thing that I love to do, sing, act, and dance, because that's all I've been doing in my room my whole life, and I get my whole entire life from it, so let me do it. And yeah, that was a great moment that I will never forget, and I haven't looked back since.
For me, it was, I actually grew up with my big Filipino family singing karaoke. So karaoke was a big part of my culture, and it still is. So I grew up singing, like belting the greats, and being already like involved in pop music. So when this came around, I was like, this is my jam. This is it.
I just like musicals. And I also, but what's really fun about this is like a lot of us do traditional musical theater, but like for this, like we kind of get to pretend to be rock stars, which is not something you always get to do. So this is like a trip. This is extra fun.
You probably will have no idea who these people are, but parents. I grew up and I wanted to be Shirley Temple, and I wanted to be Gary Coleman. I mean, right? You know. Thank God for Avenue Q. So I've done it twice. So, but the gag was, my mom never told me that I couldn't. My mom never told me that. Oh, Shirley Temple's like white with blonde hair and like, ma'am, have you seen you? Like, she was never like, Gary, there might be a little difference there, you know. She was like, okay, and sat me down and made me watch West Side Story. So, I guess this is where you come in the middle, I don't really know. So, the gag was, what drew me to musical theater is my mom, because she never told me that I couldn't do or be whoever I wanted to be. And so, yeah, and she was like, okay, well, here's this, and threw it all at me, and it just like stuck.
I don't know. I guess I didn't grow up going to musicals or watching them. I guess I really like Disney movies, and I wanted to be a Disney princess and like just sing. I didn't do my first musical until the end of my junior year in high school. And I thought I was pretty okay at it, so I was like, yeah, I'll go to college for this, I guess. Truly, there wasn't really anything that really drew me in, but then I started to see musicals, and I was like, okay, yeah, I wanna do that up there. I wanna do Wicked, and I wanna do Evita, and I wanna do this and that, and that's it.
So mine's not deep at all. I was in The Jungle Book in 6th grade, and in The Jungle Book there is a character who's a snake. But because it's a snake, it was made out of 3 people, and guess who was the butt? And I loved it, and I said I want to do this for the rest of my life.
I like that. I like that a lot. She was the butt of the snake. All right, one more question. Anyone else dying?
Thinking off of that question, if you could have any role, any dream role, what would it be?
Tevye and Fiddler on the Roof.
It's the Green Girl. I'm sorry, I want to be Elphaba so bad. That's it, that's up there. Also Kate in the Wild Party, but Andrew Lippa's Wild Party. No one does that one, but...
Okay, Sam did 2, so I'll do 2. Linda with the G in Wicked. Yes, because I'm a soprano. And then I would also love to be Cindy Lou in the revival of Carmen Jones.
I always really wanted to originate a Broadway role, which I get to do right now, so that's pretty cool.
I've been on a big like waitress kick, so I want to play Dawn really bad. And I also want to be Elsa.
Those are fabulous. Oh my gosh. I have 3, okay, and they're kind of weird because nobody really knows that this is kind of in me until I was in school. I would love to either play the baker's wife or the witch in Into the Woods. Yeah. And then the third one is really odd. I would love to play Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. I did that in school for a little project, and I was like, who is this girl? It was fabulous. So that's it.
That's awesome. Wonderful question. All right, you guys, thanks for all your questions. We are gonna let the ladies perform one more song. We're gonna get these stools off the stage here.